Hello and welcome back to 414 Footy. I'm Jack Goods, joined as always by Sebastian Becerra.
Hi Jack, how are you?
I'm great. It's summer. It's nice out. We've been enjoying our summer. A lot of soccer's gone on in the last few months. I know I've been watching a lot of the Club World Cup, USMNT at the Gold Cup, and I think you've seen Lionel Messi in person since last time we recorded?
I did. I went to down to Miami, visit some of my girlfriend's parents, my family, and I was able to catch an Inter Miami game. Definitely knocked off one of my big bucket list goals, which was seeing Lionel Messi play live, and it is just as good as you can imagine. It's a magic show basically from him, so it was awesome.
Yeah, that's so cool. But maybe more importantly for our podcast, this season also brings a sort of unofficial deadline when it comes to the frequent response that we've heard from the team itself and also through media reports. There's been hope to break ground on the Iron District this summer. We have now hit July and not a lot of an update in that regard.
Yeah. Based on some reports that we've seen online, our friends over at Anonymous Eagle, he went over there to the grounds and took some pictures a couple weeks ago, and there has been no movement, no construction has started in the Iron District area. So unfortunately, our optimism, or at least my optimism from a couple months back, has been thwarted, and now it becomes a situation of, well, when are we going to hear from the team? Good or bad news. So it's a precarious spot to be in.
Yeah, it was a telling piece from Anonymous Eagle for those who are a little less in the Marquette space. He's one of the preeminent figures, I'd say, in the Marquette blogging scene. And he put together really a photo gallery of each week. What does the Iron District look like? Exactly the same. It's still an empty lot. And there's obviously a Marquette connection with this too, with the hope that the men's and women's lacrosse and soccer teams both play at the facility. I know I've confirmed with my own eyes from a couple walks to Summerfest in the past couple of weeks. There's not anything going on there, and that puts us in a really tight timeline if we're talking about this team actually playing in 2026. Even if we're like optimistic at a 12-month timeline versus 14, 16-month. I don't know about you. The last time I saw a construction project finish exactly on time.
Right.
It does not seem to be more often than not.
Typically, there's delays, and there have been delays with this one as well. I think at this point, midsummer, Jack, we should prepare for the worst. Obviously, we still have that holding on to hope that maybe we'll get an announcement soon. Maybe they'll say, we got this, guys. Trust us, we got this, and things will get fast-tracked. But more realistically, we should hope for the worst, which is the team will not be playing next year in 2026 in the championship, but there will probably be a delay of a year, hopefully just a year. But we just have to see when the stadium starts getting built. You know, that's kind of that's what launches all of this. So until that happens, the team's definitely not going to start playing.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's important to note, and we did mention this the last time we discussed this with Connor Kaloya, his last comments on Talking Flock.
Yep.
It was a bit less committal on this summer than some of the media reports from On Milwaukee, the Journal Sentinel. They sounded more like the last land sale, which is the last real official news that we've gotten on this team, was really setting them up to begin building this summer, where Connor was a bit more, worded it a bit more like they're hoping to break ground this summer.
Yeah.
There was still further investment needed. I think the question we really have to ask now is, do we think this is happening in 2026? And I think we're both on the same page.
Yeah.
That it's not.
The answer is no. It's they have to prove it to us, right? We haven't, based on the very few media reports out there, based on the very little communication from the team, the ownership group, there isn't a lot of confidence that they're going to be able to start next year, and that's okay. It's just now that our mindset's changed, right now it's like, okay, like let's get some news, let's get some announcement so we can build off that and we can talk about that.
it comes back to, I think, something we've been touching on frequently is the importance of communication.
Yeah.
And the complete lack of communication on
We're both communication majors, so we know that it's it's important to share with your fan base, share with even with like the investors or the people that are looking forward to this team. There's a Marquette University angle. They have teams that are hoping to start playing there as well, so that's going to get delayed. So there's a lot of pieces here that are kind of unknown.
You're trying to build that trust. You're trying to build, soccer is such a community sport. You're trying to build that community. And I think a lot of the community, or at least the people who would be a part of that community, if it was being nurtured at all with this team, are feeling left out. I talked to you off pod about Buffalo going through this similar thing, trying to get to the USL Championship. And they did have what you could say is bad news in the last month, where they had picked a place where they were going to build a stadium. There was backlash because of the location. It was right near a chemical plant, and the chemical plant itself and a lot of potential Buffalo Pro Soccer fans all did not appreciate the choice that they made. And they've now backed out on that, and with that has come a delay. They were supposed to start in 2026. They're going to start in 2027. And the response has actually been all right. I think because people were told, there was a communication.
And I think that's a great point, Jack. Looking at a big picture, right? This is not just a Milwaukee issue for this pro soccer team. We're not just gonna, be negative Nancy over here just about Milwaukee. Big picture, it's hard to get a team up and running. It's hard to enter the USL as a new team, as a new franchise. There's so many moving parts. And like you mentioned in Buffalo, and there's been other cities as well that have tried to start a USL team, and there's been significant delays. So it's not just the Milwaukee issue. This is happening all over the country, but there is a big market for it, right? There is a big market for new expansion teams in the USL. There's been new expansion teams in the MLS recently as well. San Diego, one of the newest ones that they're actually in first in their league. So it's worked very well for them. So there is, once it gets started, it turns into a great opportunity. But, all around the country, you're seeing some delays because of all the moving parts that need to happen.
I think we're seeing what is the most frequent hurdle here with all of these teams is often the stadium and how much money has to go into building that if there isn't something pre-existing. There obviously has been money put in to the Madison Stadium that a lot of this ownership group has been involved in with Forward Madison, but Brees Stevens already was there. So it's a little bit different process than what we're dealing with here. But I think that's the big holding, we're in a holding pattern right now. It feels like we're in soccer purgatory until they start building the stadium.
For the Milwaukee Pro Soccer team specifically, yes. Obviously, there's other soccer going on around the country, the United States, as well as in Europe between now and next year that we can keep our eyes on. Like you mentioned at the top of the show, the Club World Cup, that's been a very fun adventure. New format, which has kind of helped, I think, a lot of fans stay tuned in the summer and have something to watch. A lot of footy fans have been able to kind of stay engaged during the summer months.
And this is just the start of what we plan on being a busy summer for us here on the podcast. We're looking to dive deeper into various topics that impact Milwaukee Pro Soccer, and that includes bringing on guests. Our first, which you'll hear in about 2 weeks, has a familial connection, Sebastian's brother Ricky Becerra, who shares his insights from playing overseas and here in the US and USL too. And later this summer, we'll detail lessons learned from Forward Madison's launch, what it tells us about what to expect in Milwaukee, and why it works so well in our state's capital. So thank you, as always, for following along, coming back to listen. And don't forget to follow us on Twitter @414footy and subscribe to the pod wherever you listen to be notified as soon as we drop new episodes. Till next time.